How's it going, everyone? Nick Salzman here, Pendulum Metrics. Want to create a video for you guys today to learn how to do the hot breath technique that you see me doing in these videos. I have it kind of sprinkled throughout a lot of my videos, and I thought I'd just dedicate one to show you guys how to do the technique specifically. So let's talk about why we call it the ha breath. Simply the sound ha. It creates, it's like when we blow our breath, you know what I mean? We can feel it all the way in our stomach. And that's what we're looking to do when we do this breathing technique. We want to engage our stomach or our solar plexus. For those of you guys that don't know about the solar plexus, it's very vital to everything that we do. It's pretty much like the battery generator for our entire energy body. There's a lot of tension that can be held in this area. Sometimes if you're driving by a place that maybe there's like a bad memory, or maybe there was like some sort of conflict you endured over there, you drive by the place, all those thoughts start coming up, and all of a sudden you're like... you realize you weren't even breathing, you're all tight being held in that area. So it's important that we understand that there's a lot of energy and power we can generate from this area, okay? So when we do the ha breath technique, I've learned to combine this technique with the ho'oponopono practice with the phrases, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. It's important that we say these because they're definitely channels of healing that open up when we say these words. Words are powerful, and if we really knew how powerful our words were, I think we might choose to talk a little bit more consciously, because they definitely have an effect on our physical being, and they have an effect on our life around us. So when we say I love you, that's one of the most powerful statements that you can tell somebody, right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter what they've done, or maybe you see through their issues and see the pain behind them. We can learn to be more understanding and more heartfelt if we learn to let love kind of guide us. And so saying I love you is basically the exclamation that no matter who you are, what you are, I accept you. And I think deep down inside that's what we're all looking for. When we say I'm sorry, we're saying we're sorry because we would like to either correct an action that we have, or maybe something we haven't done yet and we're sorry for. We can also say, I'm sorry for being considerate and empathic and just really looking at people when they're having a hard time and just be like, I'm sorry you're going through this. You know what I mean? So sorry is another one of those things we're trying to understand what someone is going through, or maybe we do understand and we want them to know that we understand what's happening with them and all that good stuff. Please forgive me. That is another powerful statement. Usually that has to do with when we feel we've done something wrong to somebody, or like before, maybe it's something we haven't done yet. Please forgive me for not taking care of this sooner. Please forgive me for not knowing how to take care of this. Please forgive me for being ignorant on the subject. So there's a lot of things that we can say forgiveness for when we don't actually do anything wrong yet. We don't know what we don't know. So when we say, please forgive me, that's opening a pathway and an opportunity to allow healing to be established. Last but not least, thank you. Thank you is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest expressions energetically that we can send out to people. So when we tell people that we appreciate them, or someone tells you that they love you and they appreciate you, that's gratitude. That stuff feels good. One of the ways that we talk about bringing stillness into our life, if we're still kind of new on a spiritual journey and we're not quite sure if we want to meditate or do yoga or learn about chakras, we're kind of at that place. What I always tell people is, before you get into all of that stuff, what we want to do is build a great foundation. And that foundation, I believe, is along the lines of daily gratitude. For me, it was waking up in the morning before my family got up, making a cup of coffee, and going outside and drinking it. I don't know what it was, but in Oregon, the nice cold air in the morning and a hot cup of coffee, for some reason, it was just a wonderful moment, and I really chase that moment every single day still. So even if it's just something as small as that, being grateful for a cup of coffee, being grateful for the house to have it, and being grateful for this body to be able to taste the coffee and just enjoy this moment. You know what I mean? It's all gratitude. And like I tell people, big, tall towers, even this pyramid behind me, before we can make a big structure, we have to build a solid foundation, or find a good foundation to build on. And I think gratitude and thank you is going to be that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to incorporate the Ha breath, and I'm going to show you guys straight how to do this, okay? So I have a pendulum right here with me. This one is coming out soon. This is called the Lightworker. It's made out of red oak, and it's a yellow frequency, and it correlates with the solar plexus, and so I figured I'd show you guys how to do this Ha breath with this pendulum. This is going to be something that for people that are interested in doing any kind of lightworker stuff, you know, whether it's clearings, whether it's balancings, whether it's sending blessings. This one's kind of got a few different qualities to it. You can do distance clearings with it, but notice the shape of it, how it has 3 round pieces, okay? There's a reason why I made it this way. It kind of reminds me of, you know, like mind, body, spirit, you know, body, mind, spirit, whichever way you want to look at it. It's definitely something that's threefold, just because we're kind of threefold as well too. So I think you'll find that this pendulum is super responsive. It's quick and it'll get the work done. So when we do the Ha breath, the Ha breath looks like this. I'm going to inhale for 4 seconds. I'm going to hold it for 4 seconds. I'm going to exhale for 8 seconds. Hold it for 4. So when I do this, I'm going to start off by taking a deep breath in, and inside my mind, I'm going to say the word, I love you. I'm going to hold my breath for 4 seconds. And now I'm going to exhale saying, please forgive me. Making sure that we're making that ha sound. Okay? And then the last one, we're going to hold our breath again and say, thank you. So one more time. We're going to breathe in, I love you. Hold, I'm sorry. Exhale, please forgive me. Hold, I love you. Okay, I'm going to do it a few more times without saying anything. I'm just going to use my hand motions. So tell you when to inhale, hold, exhale, all that good stuff. Okay, here we go. Ready? One more time. And this, guys, this breathing technique, this Ha breathing technique, this is something that you can always do, you know, whenever you get a chance. Maybe you feel a little stressed, or maybe you just get a moment to like clear your head. I know some of us stay really busy with family and work, and sometimes the only time we have to ourselves is when we're driving home or we're stuck in traffic, or, you know, whatever that looks like for some people. This is a good time to do it too. You wake up in the middle of the night, you can't go back to sleep. It's a great time to do it too. And so it's really, really important that we understand that when we do this Ha breath, that it also harmonizes us and it strengthens our energy field. And I think over time, if you keep directing it towards people and helping maybe disincarnates or other earthbound entities with this stuff, what it also does is it helps amplify all of our senses. And so not just the physical senses, but the non-physical senses, where all of a sudden you start, you know, smelling stuff that's not there, or tasting stuff that's not there. Maybe you get these visions of stuff, or maybe you start hearing things, not quite like a voice in your head, but think of it like a good idea or a suggestion that happens to come to you on the spot. This is what intuition looks like. Intuition is something that's really, really fast, and a lot of times people get it mixed up with your imagination. What I can tell you the difference is, imagination, we have to imagine it and create it. Intuition comes to us fast. It's extremely detailed and specific, and often really, really random. So when I'm like talking with people and I'm like, oh, what do you know about this, or what do you know about that? Like, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I'm getting pinged with it. And so when I start talking with them and they're like, oh, that's this, or, you know, I got this from so-and-so that's no longer around. And that kind of helps give me an indication of who is around them that's trying to make contact or communicate with them. Understand, not everybody is going to be into wanting to clear spirits and stuff, but I think it's important to note that if you are a light worker that's out there and you're wanting to do some kind of energy healing for people, whether it's Reiki, radionics, anything, right, that reflexology, sacral or cranial sacral, all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of different hands-on energy modalities. We have to know how to clear ourselves of other people's energy, right? But if we're going to be pushing and throwing energy around, we're also going to attract things that are looking for help too. So I tell people all the time, if you're not interested in dealing with spirit, then don't work with spirit. But I never could understand how some people claim to be only love and light and nothing of the dark. Have you ever looked up at the night sky? Do you know what makes the stars bright? The dark that's around them. We can't have one without the other, but we can make it harmonious in our life. It's not something that is evil or bad, and especially if fear is our guide and we're not wanting to dive into things because of fear, we need to replace that with knowledge instead of walking around and being afraid of something that we don't know a whole lot about. There's a lot of wonderful people out there that work with spirit, that understand these concepts, but I'm telling you, if you're watching this video and you have had experiences in your life that you can't explain, and it seems to be something that's reoccurring no matter where you go, there's a good chance you have potential and that you're probably already as sensitive, and there's a good chance you already know that. So just understand what we bring to the table is something way greater. We have a physical body. We have a spark of the Creator known as the Christ spark inside of us. That means that we have a strong electromagnetic field. We have creator possibilities. And when we have the right intention and the will from our heart center to direct it, we can create miracles. I always tell people the funny thing about magic is there's people that don't believe in it. I say try the magic, see the magic work, and then make the call yourself. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here today. Please like, subscribe to this channel, share with anybody that you think could benefit from hearing this. And as always, happy to answer any questions. These pendulums will be available soon. I think you're going to love it. The grain on these things is beautiful. They have some wonderful designs on them, and I think you're all going to love them. So thank you all for being here. Enjoy your day. If you have any questions, you can always email me, nicksalzman@gmail.com. Drop a comment or send me a message. Please follow me on my social media links, Pendulum Optometrics on Facebook and Instagram. Take care, y'all.